Having sold our Land Cruiser, we are taking a trip to the northwest of Victoria with our new tow vehicle, the Chevy Silverado. The purpose of the trip is to visit some of the Victorian Art Silos, and our first stop is at Nullawell, which is on the Calder Highway. The art on this silo features Jimmy, who is a Kelpie, and is a tribute to the working dogs of the farming communities. This art took just 14 days to complete. Our first camp is at Green Lake, about 4 hours drive from Melbourne. This will be our base for the first few days of our trip. We have chosen our usual site beside the boat ramp, which has power and is close to the amenities. The weather for the next few days looks promising, although we will be mainly in the vehicle as we travel around to the art silos.
This is the art silo at Sea Lake.
Sea Lake is just 20 kilometres north of our camp.
Which is beautiful work.
This artwork shows a young girl on a swing looking over Lake Tyrrell. Lake Tyrrell is 7 kilometres north of Sea Lake and is Victoria's largest salt lake, thought to be 120,000 years old. The Sky Lounge is excellent for viewing sunsets, sunrises and the night sky due to the broad horizon and low ambient light levels in the area. Although it is dry for most of the time, shallow water evaporating from the lake leaves a salt crust which has been commercially extracted since 1896. The salt works at the north end of the lake harvest about 100,000 tonnes of salt each year. Evidence of indigenous occupation for thousands of years can be observed in the form of relics throughout the Tyrrell region.
So this is day 3 of our art silo trip, and today we're starting off with Patchy Wallach as Gail hides behind the car. Still see your feet, Gail?
The artist booked a room at the pub to mix with the community before he selected a local called Noodle Holland as the subject of his work.
The silo we're parked in front of this time is Roseberry.
This artist also spent months in the Mallee district to acquaint herself with the local people, to capture the tenacity and spirit required to survive the hardships of the area.
This time we're in front of the art silo at a place called Brim.
This artist has also completed silo art in Western Australia. Although the subjects are anonymous, he too has chosen to portray characters which illustrate the resilience and strength of character embodied in the local farming community.
And the last one for today is Lascelles. So I'll pause there, hopefully that's visible, it's clouded over somewhat.
Completed by a renowned street artist, this work depicts a local couple, Jeff and Marilyn Horman, whose history in the area dates back 4 generations. Today we're heading to our next camp at Murtoa with a significant detour via Albucacha.
This is Albucacha, still with a bit of a breeze. Can't really get that close to this one. Pretty impressive.
The artist has created a work which tells the story of growing up in the country as a youth, and has exaggerated the colours to reference the way stories from the past are often exaggerated. The result is a striking work. We have set up camp at Murtoa and driven to nearby Rapanyup. The artist has captured the spirit of the community and the love of sport by portraying two of the town's young people dressed in their sports uniforms. Netball and Aussie rules football are key activities which bind Victorian farming communities together.
So this is Sheep Hills. Oh, over there looks nasty. Thunderstorms and everything going on just north of where we are. That looks quite impressive too, I would say. And here is the art silo. Once again, magnificent detail.
In this work, the artist has portrayed two Indigenous elders from the area and their children. Back at camp, we're settling down inside as the weather is forecast to be rainy.
Raining all day today, but we're visiting the stick shed in Murtoa, which was a grain silo built in 1941, and it is large. You'll see the inside in a minute. This contains 560 unmilled tree trunks from somewhere near Dandenong. Originally stored a lot of grain due to a grain glut in the 40s. Walk down the middle and see how far it is. This was all built using manual labour, with a little bit of help from a 1929 Chevy truck. And it smells like grain. So long it's hard to tell how far there is to go. And here we are. I love the sepia colouring you get in these old buildings. Reflected light off the timber. There was a conveyor belt which ran right up the middle of the higher area of the roof there to distribute the grain all the way along.
We are camped beside Lake Marma, which is right in the heart of Murtoa. Having finished lunch, I'm taking a walk around the lake on a beautifully prepared walking or running track. It is 1.78 kilometres around, and there are distance markers every 200 metres or so you can design a solid workout if you are keen. I'm just stretching out the legs to offset some of the hours we've spent sitting in the vehicle lately.
Today we're here at Garoak. See the way the clouds are going into that silo.
These silos took 7 weeks to complete after an initial delay due to COVID. Birds are some of the artist's favourite subjects, and he has completed many bird murals in rural areas. He does all of his work by hand using brushes.
We're in Canova, where there's a jolly fine picture of an eagle. And it's just sort of sitting there overlooking the town. We've come back after lunch because it's a bit brighter. The sky's not so gloomy.
This guy is having a good look at the painted silos across the road, which are a particular favourite of mine. The artist is a resident of Syne and has completed a number of works around the town. This one is called Hope and is a story of 3 pioneer residents during the Victorian Gold Rush.
And we are now in Avoca at the Barking Owl Creative. Haven't heard him bark, or her.
The artist has painted a starry night sky behind the owl which is invisible during daylight.
We've come to the Barking Owl Creative at night to see the light show. Obviously it's all lit up here, and my theory is if I press one of these buttons, or maybe both, yes, you get the lights. Now these are charging up some luminous paint, which after about 30 seconds go off. This is according to the sign. And then you see the background, which the camera is totally failing to see. Well, it looks, but I'll try the other camera.
So that concludes this trip, and traffic willing, we'll be home by lunchtime.